कोरे कोरे सपने मेरे बरसों से थे कितने अधूरे, धीरे धीरे रंग सजा कर तूने कर दिए उनको पूरे. Good evening, welcome back to In the Khud. This is 30th of July 2022, 8:12 p.m. vlog number 21, and today was pretty much an unproductive day, if I may call it so, because there isn't anything on the surface that I got done as far as work is concerned. But it's okay, it's Saturday, so but that extra hours of sleep is like, it definitely helps in some or the other way that my productivity beast mind cannot quite comprehend or understand. I primarily did one big thing today, which was doing a lot of research on the Corsair K55 RGB Pro as a second keyboard. Now the problem is with this keyboard, I don't know what reason, in the middle it would just stop working. Like, it's a USB keyboard and now it's working fine because I switched the USB port and I also changed the batteries of the keyboard. But in yesterday also I was noticing this when I was typing things on WhatsApp. I like that lag is very problematic, and I feel that it is the problem of the USB. So every time that happens, all I have to do is plug the USB out and plug it into another USB port which is empty, and that pretty much solves the problem. Now over here this is just typing fine, but even then this is like the keys are not as responsive as I would want them to be. Like, my muscle memory is completely into this keyboard. In the tutorial, Taran says that you cannot use that keyboard as a secondary keyboard because ICU or ICE, their software doesn't recognize it as one. I don't know if that is the case with the USB keyboard also, but regardless if that happens to be the case, I would essentially want that keyboard to be the main keyboard, and I could use G1 to G6, which is the additional macro keys on that keyboard, and use profiles inside the keyboard to switch from, let's say, Explorer. So Explorer has those set of keys to Excel, and Excel has those set of keys doing a certain set of AH key operations. And then I'll probably do a review, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe like a week later, where I have used it for my work and set up all the macros and everything. Then I can do a proper review of the keyboard. Can run in the code as well, because the main channel seems like a distant dream now. So randomly stumbled across a video on how to use the cut page in DaVinci, and I was anyways interested in this. So this is the video, by the way, if you want to, if I want to give credit to the creator. It's by Taran how to use the Resolve cut page, number 1 secret revealed. DaVinci, and just show it. So the thing between the cut and the edit pages, the timeline is saying the difference here is on the cut page you see the entire timeline from the beginning to the end, like the jungle from the trees lay down like this, and here at the bottom you just see the current thing zoomed in, and there's no way to like alt scroll and things like those. In the edit page, pretty much like Premiere, you edit it like this and like this. And so the reason why the cut page exists in the first place is if you want to just quickly set up your edit without having to worry about the details. That's when you just do it in the cut page and in the edit page you do that. So the timeline between the edit page and the cut page is completely synced. If I was to, let's say, come in here and press X to delete. Okay, this is one key thing. Like, if I come in here and press X, sorry, not X, this is not Blender. If I press backspace to delete, what it does is it tries to ripple delete and make sure that there are no gaps. If I was to undo that, and it does that, there are no gaps in between. Like, all cuts are ripple deletes and stuff. If you go to edit page and if I was to come in here and press backspace to delete it, that would just leave a gap here in the timeline. So that is one thing to note. Like here, and this is the case only with the first video track. If you're deleting things here, DaVinci will automatically do the heavy lifting of ripple deleting stuff so that there are no gaps and all. Another important thing about the cut page is that you have these options here where you can choose the first one or the second one. The second one is a more useful one, where in this particular source monitor you have all the clips in your bin here, so the entire thing is in one go, and so you don't have to have like hover over particularly. You can do that as well. Inside Premiere, I think when you hover over clips in the project panel, you just see like a thumbnail, or you can probably scroll through the whole thing as well. But here, do the in and out points also work? Oh, okay, the in point out points here also work. And if I press Shift F12, okay, and I can even drag that in here at the end. So seems like that also works. And then when you use these options here, so Smart Insert, Pend, Ripple Override, Close Up, Place on Top, and Source Override, you can easily swap and replace clips without having to worry about gaps, as I said. Now, one very cool feature here was the close up thing. So if I was to make a quick cut here, let's say I cut this part and I cut, and this goes in the opposite direction. Like in Premiere I would scrub it here, but this is going like GTA currently. So I was to select this clip and press this button here called Close Up, it makes a 5-second clip on top, which is like automatically the third camera. And I remember him saying that it's a 5-second cut. I was wondering why it's not the whole duration of what I have cut out. If I was to mark in and out points here, where do you see in and out points? Maybe in the edit page there is. I'm sure it must be somewhere. Again, it's adjustable, so I was select this and come into, I think here, yeah, you can adjust how you want it to be. I thought I could use it as camera 3, but since it's only 5 seconds, it's very limiting. I'm just very familiar with the camera 3 methodology, so I would just stick to that instead. Selection follows playhead is grayed out in the cut page. So this has been a thing lately. Okay, yeah, but here you cannot do that. Like if I want to do Q and D, I will see, but when I say D, the one that is selected gets deleted, and I don't want that. Selection follows playhead works in your edit page like it should. So I have a feeling even if I am going to use, this is looking very much the current, I look the same every day. Anyway, even if I am going to use DaVinci for in the Khud vlogs at least, I could see a use of this kind of the cut kind of workflow where you have your base cut and on top of it you have a lot of other clips happening. So B-rolls and let's say motion graphics and like basically levels of video channels, like in the case of let's say main channel when you're making informative videos, basically for documentaries and interviews where you have a base interview playing and then you have footage on top of it to like display something and stuff. In that case it would be really beneficial to use the cut page, but for my purposes I would essentially want to stick to the edit page only because this is more familiar, and in my, I don't know why this minimizes for some reason, and my workflow, you see when I come over it just minimizes. Maybe it's the close-up thing I've done that way, because if I just have a clip on top, even then it minimizes. Why is that the case? Okay, I'm still learning new things about DaVinci. One important thing again why I feel this won't work is because things like this close up, there is no shortcut you can set for close up in DaVinci, like it just doesn't come up. And I've noticed this for quite a few other things in this application where you want to do a certain thing and you cannot find a shortcut for that, which in the case of Premiere you have almost everything you could do in the software, you can assign a keyboard shortcut to it. So right off the bat, one more reason why I feel like the switch is not definitely something that will work. In general, yes, Premiere crashes and has all these error issues and stuff, but workflow wise I think it might just make sense to stick to Premiere. We'll see. To-dos here, I had basically put to-dos for pretty much the whole weekend. So I had to watch this Blender geometry node tutorial. I had to follow it. I started watching it but I did not follow it completely. I'm over 11 minutes. I watched this grease pencil animatics video by Crossmind Studios. That is amazing. None of this was done. Cubic words, I did not do anything. Small things I've learned. Interesting. Let's make a to-do here. Get groceries. If I press Ctrl plus Enter, that will check off that to do. Okay, this one idea that came to my mind is a long form series on the main channel where we dissect explainer videos from Vinci Cut. And this company has amazing explainer videos. Each one of these videos is like a treat to watch. There's so much work gone into it, so much professionalism in all these videos. So here I did some referencing for the upcoming shop flow video. I'm gonna go through these references: general flow of phone screen, logo reveal, match cuts, phone transition of scene to scene. These are very useful links for me to get an idea of how the animation should flow, and I'm not really sure if I should do an animatic route for this video, but we'll see. Maybe we can just directly do it in After Effects. That's pretty much it. We've hit 13 minutes. It's gonna be a pain to edit. Anyways, thank you for being in the Khud one more day. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.